New Black Ops 6 update and Warzone completely changed the meta. We're gonna go over the top 5 best setups that you should be using. So I don't even really have this bug right now, but if you guys have ever had those stupid names in the corner, like, they're really annoying. Like, I just wanted to say that. Anyways, we'll start off with the 5 attachment build. We're gonna want to use the compensator because you could use the porta compensator, but it doesn't give quite as much. And then you don't want to use the monolithic. You can, but personally, we're using the compensator. Next, for the barrel, we're gonna want to choose the reinforced. You could choose the gain twist, but you need that damage range for this thing, so we're just gonna put the reinforced on. Alright, I'm going in the firing range. Now, just quick disclaimer, I'm on console and the TV, which I'm not used to because my monitor's broken, so I'm gonna look like absolute trash while you're watching this, so just beware. I'm sorry. Now we're going over to the underbarrel. You're gonna want to select the vertical foregrip. You could also use the Ranger if you wanted to. It has that horizontal recoil control. And it has the sprinting movement speed, but personally, I'm going to prefer the vertical foregrip. Alright, for the magazine, one of the last attachments of this build, we're going to select the extended mag 2. You got a ton of bullets. You should not run out, really, at all. Now for a final attachment of the build, we're going to be using, you could use the quick draw grip if you wanted to. So we'll select the quick draw grip, and you could switch this to the monolithic, and this would also be a really good build that you could use. But today we're going to use the compensator and the ergonomic. In my opinion, you're going to be way more consistent with this build, and I personally prefer this one. And as we're loading into the fire range and watching my completely washed gameplay, if you want me to get a new monitor, hit subscribe, and maybe I can get it earlier. And, you know, not wait until eventually I earn one by making money by building a deck. Next up on our list, we got the Growl 556. The first attachment that you have to add on this gun is going to be the fire mod. We have to add the Growl conversion kit to actually turn this AR into the Growl. For our next attachment, the muzzle, we're going to go ahead and select the monolithic suppressor, as it basically replaces our barrel that we can't use. Unfortunately, we do lose some ADS speed, and then we're gonna full on the full auto extended mag, which is made for the Growl. The only problem is this also has you lose ADS sight speed. So now the Growl ADS speed is actually gonna be pretty slow, which is not good. I really don't like that about this thing. Anyways, for our next attachment, in the underbarrel, we're going to put on the vertical foregrip for all the horizontal recoil control. You can totally put on the Ranger for the extra sprinting movement speed, but you lose a little bit of recoil control. Next up, we're going to select the grip. Now, you might want to select the quick draw grip, and for some reason I don't have the ergonomic unlocked. I really don't know why I don't have it. But basically, you're gonna might want to use the quick draw grip because you get the faster ADS speed with that grip. But you can still totally use the ergonomic. You're just gonna be a little bit slow. So this build right here will be a definitely really good build. If you really want the ergonomic though, you can totally take that on. Now we'll go in the firing range, and I don't know what's going on with my body here. And as I said in the C9 build, aim, TV, console, weird settings, doesn't equal well. Next up on our list, we got the Craig C. Let me quickly just take off the attachments. First, we're going to want to use an optic, because the iron sights on this thing, as I'm about to show you, are absolutely terrible. You cannot play with these iron sights. It's probably the worst iron sights in the entire game. Maybe, I don't really know. Don't quote me on that, please. Anyway, we'll head back. Where is this thing? We're gonna want to add on an optic. Personally, my favorite is the Volsky Reflex. I love that optic. It's super good. We'll head back into the firing range, and as you can see, I mean, this thing's already easier to use.
Even with no mods, I can beam this guy fairly easily, even though I'm on a TV and console because my stupid monitor broke and I hated it. It's not fun at all. Anyway, next we're gonna want to add on a muzzle, my bad. You could use the monolithic in Warzone if you want to, but we're gonna use the ported compensator for this done. And to be honest, I don't have any. We're not gonna use the barrel for this build. I don't even have any unlocked. Then we're gonna put on the vertical foregrip for that good old vertical foregripiness. You're gonna want to slap on the extended mag 1 because you don't want the big balls on your gun. And then finally, we're gonna put on the quick draw grip. You could put on the ergonomic grip, but as you can see, I don't have like anything unlocked on this gun. And this is basically gonna be the 5 attachment build for the Krieg seat. Now I'll test it on the firing range. For some reason, I don't have a body. I really don't know why. Test it out. See, Krieg seat works real well. I mean, as we can clearly tell, my aim is selling. So, if you want me to actually be able to play the game again, then go ahead and get this video to 100,000 views. Give me 1,000 subscribers, and get me monetized and stuff, and then I can buy a new monitor. Faster than building a deck. I'm honestly really yapping for this Krieg C right now. But if you want to run Gunfighter, I would recommend probably the reinforced barrel for the damage range and bullet velocity. Then for stock, you're gonna most likely want to use the infiltrator stock, but I personally would prefer the balanced stock for all the more bonuses, even though the infiltrator does have the fast aim walking movement speed. Then you're gonna want to use the stair lock laser and the recoil springs, and that will be your Krieg.
Next up, we got the SOG.
The first thing you're going to want to put on for the SOG is probably the ported compensator, because it's better than the compensator for the SOG. So we're going to go ahead and select that. As you can see, better than the normal. Next, we're going to want to put on the reinforced barrel for damage range and bullet velocity. Then underbarrel, extended mag 1. That's where you're going to want to select on for, not so you don't get any of the dumb things. Then I would put on the ergonomic or the quick draw, but as you can see, I don't have either of them unlocked yet because monitor broke thing. But definitely use the quick draw or the ergonomic. I would personally prefer the ergonomic over the quick draw. So I could select it, I would, but we'll just use the CQB. Then you're going to want to put on the balanced stock for all of the bonuses and actually good aim walking speed, so it's just easily the best of all the worlds there. And that's going to be your build for the stock, for the 5 attachments. And I don't have the ergonomic. For 8 attachment, you're going to want to put on the vertical foregrip. I literally don't have it. The Ranger's also a super good option though. You can definitely put that one on. Then for the stock, laser, you're gonna want the stair lock laser, easily the best laser, no doubt about it. You're gonna want to put on the recoil springs most likely, but if you're completely fine with the recoil, put on the overpressured, mainly for Warzone, so you have the better bullet velocity. Then as you can see, if we look here, we have the 21 bullet velocity, damage range, which is actually pretty good for an SMG, so you should be completely fine. Then for the final attachment, if you want to put in an optic, you totally can. I personally use the Kepler Microflex for my SMG's optic, but obviously, up to you for that one. And that's going to be your SOG build. We'll go on the firing range, test the SOG. Well, it might be a little different because I have 5 attachments. The SOG totally fries, even with playing on a TV, which has the wrong settings, and a PlayStation and not a PC. I'm really just kind of stretching out my thing, Alright, this is going to be your SOG build. Hope you like the SOG build. Let's move on to the next build. For our final build, we got the good old CR56 AMAX, which is my personal favorite AR in this entire game. So let's get to the build. First thing we're going to want to add is a muzzle. We're going to want to add the compensator. The compensator is super good on the AMAX, and I don't want to use the ported. Wait, that sounded like deported. Never mind. Anyway, for the barrel, we're going to want to add either the gain twist or the reinforced. For this build today, I'm pretty sure I'm going to add the reinforced or the gain twist. Yeah, we'll put on the gain twist for now. Our damage range is actually 30, which you should be totally fine with. And, you know, bullet velocity is super important in this game anyway. For our third attachment, we'll put on the reinforced barrel for now, actually, because I like it more. But for our underbarrel, we're going to want to select the vertical foregrip, best for the AMAX. You can select the Ranger. The Ranger is also actually really good on the AMAX, and you'll definitely do really good with that one too. But for now, we'll select the Ranger, actually. Then you could do the extended mag 1, which you could, there's nothing wrong with it. But we're going to take it off for this build, actually. Then we're going to go ahead and pop on the ergonomic grip, because the ergonomic grip is definitely my favorite for the AMAX. Then we're going to want to put on the stock, and we're going to want to use the light stock. You could use the infiltrator stock too for the aim walking movement speed. But personally, the balanced stock is what we're going to want to use. And this is going to be your 5 attachment build for the AMAX. And, you know, I'm currently showing you the stats of the other guns. Now we're going to go ahead and go into the firing range to actually test the AMAX out. And even with, you know, the whole bad setup I got going on, even I can still fry with this AMAX overcooked setup. The AMAX is just honestly the best gun in the game right now, in my opinion. And also, currently doing this because my mic for the PlayStation is terrible. But I recorded this before the Season 4 update, so I don't have the new grip or anything else, so this might be a little old. Anyway, everyone, that's going to be my 5 builds for today's video, even though Season 4 didn't drop when I was recording this. But I hope you enjoyed the video, and remember, Jesus loves you.